Flirting and body language. Flirting is a form of nonverbal communication that involves using body language to signal romantic or sexual interest. Flirting is a way of interacting with someone in which you playfully indicate that you are romantically attracted to them. Body language can play a big role in flirting, as people often use nonverbal cues to communicate their interest and attraction. Some examples of flirting body language include 1. Maintaining eye contact. Making and holding eye contact with someone can be a sign that you are interested in them and want to engage with them. 2. Smiling and laughing. Smiling and laughing at someone's jokes or comments can indicate that you find them attractive and enjoy their company. 3. Touching. Lightly touching someone's arm or shoulder while talking to them can be a subtle way of flirting. 4. Leaning in. Leaning in towards someone while talking to them can indicate that you are interested in them and want to be closer. 5. Mirroring. Mimicking someone's body language, such as the way they stand or their facial expressions, can be a way of showing that you are in sync with them and attracted to them. It's important to note that people flirt in different ways, and what may be seen as flirting to one person may not be interpreted as such by another. It's also important to remember that flirting should be consensual and that it's never okay to make someone feel uncomfortable or pressured. There are many different features of flirting body language, and different people may use different nonverbal cues to indicate their interest. Some common features of flirting body language include playing with hair. Twirling or playing with your hair can be a sign that you are interested in someone and want to look attractive to them. Maintaining open body posture. Standing with your arms open or uncrossed can indicate that you are approachable and interested in engaging with someone. Preening. Adjusting your appearance, such as smoothing your hair or straightening your clothes, can be a way of trying to look attractive to someone. Displaying certain body parts. Displaying certain body parts, such as your neck or wrists, can be a subtle way of indicating interest in someone. Using vocal cues. Flirting can also involve using certain vocal cues, such as speaking in a soft or flirtatious tone, laughing or giggling, or using playful or flirty language. Flashing a smile. Smiling at someone in a genuine and friendly way can be a way of indicating interest and attraction. Winking. Winking at someone can be a playful and flirtatious way of indicating interest. Using facial expressions. Using facial expressions, such as raising eyebrows or making a playful face, can be a way of flirting and indicating attraction. Using hand gestures. Using hand gestures, such as pointing or waving, can be a way of flirting and indicating interest. Playful teasing. Teasing someone in a light-hearted and playful way can be a way of flirting and showing interest. It's important to remember that flirting should always be consensual, and it's never okay to make someone feel uncomfortable or pressured. It's also important to pay attention to the other person's body language and verbal cues, as they may be giving you signals about whether or not they are interested in flirting. Here are a few factors that flirting body language can indicate. 1. Attraction. People who are attracted to each other may use certain body language cues to signal their interest, such as making prolonged eye contact, smiling, or standing or sitting close to each other. Attraction is an emotional response that occurs when someone finds another person appealing or interesting. In the context of flirting, attraction refers to a feeling of being drawn to another person and wanting to engage with them romantically. An example of attraction in flirting might be if someone finds themselves drawn to another person and wants to spend more time with them. They might use flirting body language, such as maintaining eye contact, smiling, and laughing, to indicate their interest and attraction to the other person. They might also use flirty language or engage in playful teasing as a way of flirting and showing their attraction. It's important to remember that attraction is subjective, and what one person finds attractive may be different from what another person finds attractive. It's also important to remember that it's important to respect boundaries and to only engage in flirting if it is consensual. Please subscribe our channel if you want more videos like this. Press the bell icon. 2. Playfulness. Flirting can sometimes be a way for people to show their sense of humor or playfulness, such as by teasing or joking with each other. 3. Interest. Flirting can be a way for people to show their interest in getting to know each other better, such as by asking questions or engaging in conversation. Interest in flirting refers to a desire to engage with someone in a romantic or playful way. When someone is interested in flirting with someone else, they may use nonverbal and verbal cues to indicate their interest and to try to build a connection with the other person. An example of interest in flirting might be if someone finds themselves attracted to another person and wants to get to know them better. They might use flirting body language, such as maintaining eye contact, smiling, and laughing, to show their interest and to try to engage with the other person. They might also ask questions and engage in conversation as a way of getting to know the other person and building a connection. It's important to remember that flirting should always be consensual, and it's important to pay attention to the other person's body language and verbal cues to see if they are interested in flirting as well. It's also important to respect boundaries and to only engage in flirting if it is welcomed by the other person. 4. Intimacy. People who are flirting may use body language cues to create a sense of intimacy, such as by touching each other lightly or standing or sitting in proximity. Intimacy can play a role in flirting by helping to build a connection and a sense of closeness between two people. In body language, intimacy can be conveyed through nonverbal cues such as physical touch, prolonged eye contact, and proximity. For example, if someone is flirting with another person and wants to build intimacy, they might touch their arm or shoulder while talking to them, or they might stand or sit close to them. Prolonged eye contact can also be a way of building intimacy and creating a sense of connection. It's important to remember that intimacy should always be consensual, and it's important to pay attention to the other person's body language and verbal cues to ensure that they are comfortable with the level of intimacy being displayed. It's also important to respect boundaries and to only engage in behaviors that are welcomed by the other person. 5. Sexual interest. Flirting can sometimes be a way for people to signal their sexual interest in each other, such as by touching or caressing each other in a suggestive way. 6. Culture. As with other aspects of body language, the way that people flirt can vary significantly between cultures, and it is important to be aware of these differences to avoid misunderstandings. 7. Context. It is important to consider the context in which flirting is occurring. For example, certain body language cues may be seen as flirtatious in a social setting, but they might be seen as inappropriate or unprofessional in a business setting. 8. Nonverbal leakage. As with other aspects of body language, flirting can sometimes reveal a person's true feelings or intentions even if they are trying to hide them. This is known as nonverbal leakage, and it can be an important aspect of body language to pay attention to. 9. Training. Some people may be able to improve their ability to recognize and interpret flirting through training or practice. This can be helpful in a variety of situations, such as in dating or social interactions. 10. Consistency. It is important to pay attention to the consistency of a person's flirting behavior over time. If a person's flirting behavior changes significantly, it may be a sign of a change in their feelings or intentions. There are many different types of flirting, and people may use different tactics and techniques depending on their personality, style, and the situation. Here are a few examples of different types of flirting. Physical flirting. Physical flirting involves using physical touch and body language to flirt with someone. Examples of physical flirting might include lightly touching someone's arm or shoulder while talking, leaning in close to them, or standing or sitting close to them. Verbal flirting. Verbal flirting involves using words and language to flirt with someone. Examples of verbal flirting might include using playful or flirty language, making jokes or compliments, or engaging in playful teasing. Nonverbal flirting. Nonverbal flirting involves using body language and nonverbal cues to flirt with someone. Examples of nonverbal flirting might include maintaining eye contact, smiling and laughing, or using hand gestures. Social media flirting. Social media flirting involves flirting with someone through social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Examples of social media flirting might include sending flirty messages or comments, liking or commenting on someone's posts, or using emoji or stickers in a flirty way. Traditional flirting. Traditional flirting involves using more traditional flirting techniques, such as asking someone out on a date or buying them a drink. Playful flirting. Playful flirting involves using a light-hearted and playful approach to flirting, such as making jokes or using playful language. It's important to remember that flirting should always be consensual and that it's important to pay attention to the other person's body language and verbal cues to ensure that they are comfortable with the level of flirting being displayed. In conclusion, flirting is a way of interacting with someone in which you playfully indicate that you are romantically attracted to them. Body language can play a big role in flirting, as people often use nonverbal cues such as eye contact, smiling, and touching to communicate their interest and attraction. Different people may use different techniques and tactics when flirting, such as physical flirting, verbal flirting, nonverbal flirting, or social media flirting. It's important to remember that flirting should always be consensual and that it's important to pay attention to the other person's body language and verbal cues to ensure that they are comfortable with the level of flirting being displayed.